So what is it with Latinos and the cussing?
I don't know. It's in the blood. Like, well, I
Yeah.
grew up listening to my dad cursing all. We used to live next to a convent. Imagine that. And my dad
Wow.
would be, cursing at the nuns because they will get up super early in the morning to sing and pray. It's like, these motherfuckers, why don't you just go? Go get a man. And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, stop it. Go get a man. And I'm like, oh my God.
Wait a
So
minute.
that would
Wait
be
a
every
minute.
day.
Are you telling me your dad was cussing nuns out?
Oh yeah. And tell them
That's
to get a man.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Welcome back and a happy new year to everybody. This is Ryan Cuffey, host of the VisionLab podcast in partnership with Next One Creative. I'm here with my main man, Ryan Mosley. We're going to kick off 2021 with an absolute bang. We have a lot of fun today, guys. Talking about some cigars, talking about life in general, what the future holds and what it looks like for 2022. Hey, Mo, what do we have on the show today?
Cuff, our first guest of the year 2022 is a native of the Dominican Republic. She is the founder of Don Fausto Cigars. Please welcome the wonderful Anya Ramirez to the VisionLab podcast.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Absolutely. Happy New Year.
Thank you for hopping on.
We are tremendously excited to get you on the show. We've been following you for a little bit here. We're going to obviously get into kind of who you are and what you're about. But prior to that, I want to reflect back on 2021, right? Especially coming out of 2020 with COVID running rampant and no one knowing exactly which way is up from down and right from left. How was 2021 for you?
I could say it was great for me. Yeah, I went through a lot of stuff too personally, but I think I grew a lot too. People were complaining about 2020 and 2021 for me has been a blessing. I came out with my cigar. It's a lot of doors open for me in 2021. So yeah, a lot of bad stuff happened too, but I think it happens to everybody. So I'm not gonna complain. I think 2021 was a great year for me. So
why do you think people look at their past or perhaps even what they're going through and look down upon that in terms of, man, 2021 is not going my way, or 2022 and we're already off to a bad start? It's the same as the last couple of years. Like, what can people do to get out of that funk? I mean, we're starting off a brand new year. Like, what can we do to get out of that?
It's just change the mentality. You have to be more positive. Bad stuff is going to happen to everybody. There's nothing that you can do about it. There's good stuff and bad stuff in the world. And all you can do is just, move on. I know people that a lot, like really, really, I know somebody that the moment that dad passed away from COVID last year. And that person, a month after, she was back up and doing all the stuff that she used to do before. And then I know people that maybe a cousin died and is still depressed. So I know everybody's different and everybody's, feelings are different too. But I just think that you just have to try to be positive. Something happened. Okay, there's nothing that you can do about it. Just, of course you're going to feel bad, but you have to move on and do something else and keep going, because are you going to get stuck? You have to keep going. That's my thing. I don't get stuck. If I'm telling you, if I start telling you the story of my life, we'll be here for 3 days, and you will tell me, no, that didn't happen to you, because you see, like, of course, I try to smile. And I've been like right now, I'm going through some stuff, but I'm smiling. I can get stuck.
Yeah.
So, you have to be, I'm not saying you have to be happy, but at least positive and keep going. Because for me, getting stuck is not an option.
I love that. I really do. 2021 was a good year for you. Um, let's. I'm curious, why open up or why bring out Don Fausto Cigars? And for those that don't know, Anya is the founder of Don Fausto Cigars. So why bring that out in 2021?
Well, the dream started about 4 years ago, and it took me a while to make the decision and get up and say, stop dreaming. It's time to make it happen. And
Action.
yeah, exactly. Because people sometimes like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then it's just stay like that in the dream. And that's another thing. Don't get stuck. Do it. Do something. And about maybe 2 years ago, I said, let me just do it. And I started looking for factories in DR that can make my cigars. And I went through different ones. They made samples for me. Didn't like them. Some just took me. They didn't respect me as a woman in the industry. They just, some people still have that mentality that women don't know anything about cigars.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've told this story many times. I went to this factory and they made 6 different samples for me, right? So I smoked all 6 samples and I went back to them and I said to them, do you know that, that I smoke every day? And back then I was smoking up to even 10 cigars a day.
Woo!
I said, that I do smoke a lot. It's like, yeah, we know. I'm like, okay. So 1, 2, and 5 were the same cigar. Same blend, same everything.
They tried you.
So it's like, you think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. You might think that because I'm a woman, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know what I'm doing. So I said, thank you so much for trying, but I don't want to do any kind of business with you. I never tell. People ask me who did that to you. I'm like, I will never tell. I'm gonna keep it a secret, because that's when bad things happen to you. Because even though they did something bad to me, I'm not gonna talk negatively about them. Nobody's never gonna know, but they tried. They try me. Exactly, they're lost. Because then I found the right factory, and I can't complain. They do a great job, great construction. Tobacco is premium tobacco, and they did exactly what I wanted.
Why the name Don Fausto?
That's my dad's name. Yeah, and I gotta say that my dad was a cigarette smoker, so he wasn't like into cigars. But his friends back then, only rich people or the people that used to work at the factories were the ones that used to smoke cigars. It was not something that everybody could smoke. And we're talking about 80s, and my dad's friends used to come to my house and play dominoes, and they used to bring cigars, and they will make my dad smoke cigars.
Really?
And the smell of the cigars I did like, but I hated this, the cigarettes smell. I hated that, but the cigars, I loved it. So because of them, I love the cigars. And my dad passed away in 2014, and now all his friends are gone too. So I smoked my first cigar around when I was 20, and after that, I got hooked. Forget about it. It wasn't just smelling. I was just like, smoking already. I was just trying the good stuff that I fell in love with. So that's why I named it Don Fausto, because of him and his friends. Because of them, that's how I started.
Well, real quick, first, very sorry for the loss of your father. But what a hell of a way to tribute him, right? Can for those that are watching us on YouTube, can you go ahead and show us the label? Because you got a beautiful looking ash right now. Yeah,
You
look
can
at
see
that.
it right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Talk to us. Okay, so you mentioned the construction, and we're not a show that really gets deep into like the makings of cigars. However,
Mhm.
whenever we have someone of your caliber that can speak to, the construction, the binder, the filler,
Mhm.
the different
Mhm.
regions, your seeds, etc. Like I think our listeners and our visionaries that are tuning in want to know that. So, what can they expect from a Don Fausto cigar?
Well, from this one, this is the original blend, and this one is a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. The filler is Dominican and Ecuadorian, and the binder is Dominican. So, it's more like a medium, but to me, it's more a little milder because I usually smoke stronger cigars. So to me, it's milder. But for somebody that smokes maybe a little bit of everything, then this is more like a medium, and you could say even medium to full sometimes. It has a lot of uh, the notes is just like coffee, like dark roasted coffee and cocoa, nuts, like dried nuts. What else? I think everybody gets different notes. Like I can tell you when I'm smoking, this is what I get.
Yeah.
So, you might smoke it one day and you say, no, I don't get this, I get something else. And this is the original. I have a new blend that I did back in June, and now it's out, for sale as well. So that's a different one. I don't have one right here with me, but I think I have one in the humidor. But that's a different one. That one is I only came out in a 6x60. This one comes in 3 sizes: Robusto, Toro, and Churchill. Sorry about the background noise. I have kids here.
All good.
And the other one comes only in 6x60 for now. I haven't decided what other sizes because I like smaller sizes. And people's like, yeah, but we like bigger. But the 6x60 for now, and that one is a Mexican San Andres wrapper. Filler is Dominican and USA, and then the binder is Dominican. So that one is also a medium, and it's that one, not because I was the one who blended it, but I that's my favorite. That I this one is really good, but the other one is my favorite because that's my true baby. That's the one that I sat down, spent a whole day smoking cigars, over 20 cigars, trying to make the decision,
Wow.
which one was going to be.
Yeah. Did you have the shakes?
Oh, no. Because before anything, I went and had a big Dominican breakfast. Have you ever had Dominican breakfast?
No, I have not had the pleasure of having
please.
Dominican breakfast yet.
Yes, tell us what's in a Dominican breakfast.
A Dominican breakfast is the green plantains. You boil them and then you mash them. It's like imagine mashed potatoes. These are mashed green plantains, and then fried cheese, fried eggs, and fried Dominican sausage.
Okay.
Now, what is Dominican sausage? So, what is a pig different over there?
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit different. Regular sausage, let's say, you can even feel the meat. Imagine like a hot dog, but bigger. It's more like that. Like it's like they blend all the meats together and they compact it real good, and then it looks more like a hot dog, but like a really big hot dog.
Okay.
So it just tastes. You guys have to try so you can understand. It's a whole different thing.
Listen, we're coming to Florida this year. I will have to, get out there to you and link up and definitely, smoke a couple Don Fausto.
And I'll make some Dominican breakfast for you guys.
We're excited. And also we'll be, we'll talk about this later, but we'll be at Charlotte Cigar Week. I know that you're going to be there too. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But where can our visionaries find Don Fausto cigars? Are they in retailers across the country? Are they just
how do they get their hands Florida? On?
Yeah, it has been a little hard for me to place them because I just got them in July, I think it was, And, I work for Karen Berger as well. I rep her brand. So Karen Berger was one of the first ones. So it is a Don Kiki cigar in Daytona, Cuban Crafters in West Palm Beach, Florida. We have them also at my Cigar Oasis. So Cigar Oasis in Oak Park, Illinois. That's just outside of Chicago. And LG Cigar Club in San Jose, California. And online, you can find it at LagronCigarCo.com. And he's in Nevada.
And spell that. How do you spell it? As you said,
Lagron Cigar Co. Lagron is LAGRONE. Cigarco.com. Mm-hmm.
So the biggest question is, what can we do to get you here to Texas?
I'm planning to go to Texas next month, actually.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
planning. I do not know yet.
Are you going to be
part?
What part of Texas? North Texas or Houston?
I don't know yet.
Oh, well, then you're coming to Dallas. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So we
just made it for you. Yeah, you're coming to Dallas.
I do want to go to Dallas. I do.
And as she's saying that, Cuff, allow me to say thank you to somebody who has supported us from day one.
Day one.
That's Edwina Brown and the entire family at Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. If you're anywhere in the southern part of DFW, make sure you get to Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. The address is 1604 North I-35. You can't miss it. Right after Service Road. Gigantic signs at Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. Make sure you get with the folks at Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. Great humidor, great staff, great service, everything you want in a lounge. Get to Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. And Anya, when you get here to Dallas, we'll make sure you get to Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge.
Okay.
Yeah, we just made the decision. You're coming to Dallas.
No, it actually depends. I had so many plans and everything has changed. I was supposed to leave tomorrow to Missouri, and then where I was gonna go, that person got COVID, so we had to cancel that trip. So my other plan was going to be, I was gonna go to the Dominican Republic for my birthday in a couple of days, and not happening. So everything has changed.
A series of adjustments.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have to rethink that there might be a little business that I'm cooking out there in the Dominican Republic. If that happens, then I'm not gonna be able to go to Texas next month. So maybe I'll do it this month. I don't know.
Yeah, we want you to get your bag. Number one, get the bag for sure. Handle your business. But if time allows you to make it out to Dallas, we'd love to have you and hang out, smoke a couple sticks, and let you plant some seeds out here.
Well, yeah, definitely. I have to do that. I have to take a trip up there for sure before I go anywhere else. Texas, because I have a lot of followers who are from Texas, from all over Texas, and they keep asking, "When are you coming? Where are you coming?" And I was supposed to go to the Houston Cigar Week, and then I couldn't go. Something happened, and I just couldn't go. So I just have to make my way there before I go and visit any other city. Any other state, I have to go to Texas.
Well, I'm so glad.
There's a way.
That's right. And I'm glad you said that. And I'm also glad that you mentioned being a cigar influencer, right?
Don't use that word with me.
Okay, you're not an influencer.
I'm not an influencer.
Okay, but you have a very substantial following on social media.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
It's okay to hold weight. No, you don't be humble. You better lean into who you are.
So what's that whole journey been like? I mean, did you get on to social media kind of expecting this would happen, or like how did all this unfold?
Now, if you go to my my Instagram and you go back and back and back from years ago, I just have regular pictures, with my family, or me drinking wine, or when I could drink wine. Or me on my way to work, or with the dogs, or taking my daughter, because when my kids, were in high school, a concert or whatever, because my daughter sings and stuff like that. And that was it. Like, I haven't changed anything. People sometimes, I'm going to delete a bunch of stuff. No, I will never delete anything that happened in my life. So it's still there. But one day, we had just bought this house, and I wasn't working. That was in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And it's like, all I have to do is just clean, cook, drink one, and go in the pool and smoke. So one day I said, I'm just going to post a picture. And I posted a picture smoking a cigar in a bikini. And followers started coming. My Instagram was open because, and this is something like before it used to be private. And then my daughter started singing. So, and she used to go to a lot of auditions and stuff. So I just wanted to share, her singing and stuff like that. So if it's closed, if it's private, nobody's going to be able to see it. Right. So once she decided that she didn't want to do it, I just left it open. So you never know, maybe somebody's going to see her singing and they might contact me. You never know. So I left it open. And after that picture, people started coming and coming and coming, and I kept posting, and then I kept getting more. I think remember when I posted my first picture with a cigar, well, with a cigar in a bikini, because I had posted pictures before with a cigar. I had maybe 500, 600 followers. And then it went crazy, and it kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And when I started with the whole cigar business, I started getting more and more and more. And now, like at 10,000, let's say. So
yeah,
but
it's
I'm not an
growing.
Influencer. There's a big difference.
No,
there's
correct,
a difference.
Correct. No, I got it. I respect, no doubt. But that's opened the doors up for you in so many different other arenas. Like, even though it was on the back of your mind, but like you now started Don Fausto Cigars. You're working with Karen Berger. Like, how else has social media kind of impacted your professional lifestyle?
Well, it actually has helped a lot, because I have gotten a lot of contacts that now in 2022, I have a whole list of cigar shops. So if anybody's watching or listening, be ready, because I'm coming for you. I'm gonna be hunting you. I'm just gonna be there calling and emailing and trying to get Don Faustos everywhere. But that's how it helped. As soon as I announced that I was coming out with my cigar, people started contacting me. Maybe these people might be interested. I want to see if my local shop can carry your cigar. So it has really helped. It really helps. So I'm very grateful to that.
Let me ask you this, Anya. When it comes to, like you said, you post a picture, doors really start opening. When it comes to people contacting you and saying, hey, we want to see about, possibly getting this into the shop. Like, what are some of the basic tenets that you follow business-wise when it comes to working with a potential retailer, if you will, right? Like, obviously, you don't necessarily want your cigar in every shop, because there might just be some people you just don't work with, or, you just don't have the right vibe with, right? But what are some basic rules that you follow when it comes to working with a shop?
I'm not a hater. That's my thing. I think everybody has their own personalities, and and I have visited a lot of places, and they say, "Oh no, we don't carry boutique cigars." But then I already have been in the humidor. They have boutique cigars, so I don't get offended by it. What I keep saying, maybe in the future, when I get bigger, they're gonna call me and say, how can I get your cigars at my shop? So one thing that I don't like doing is, like, if I go visit, let's say you have a shop, and then there's another shop like maybe 5 miles away. I'm not gonna go to both. I choose either one or the other one. Because then if I go to yours and I sell my cigars to you, and I go to the other one, I'm taking, business from you and giving it to the other one, and vice versa. So that's something that that's what I have to, like, maybe work a little better now in 2022, see which ones are going to be the ones. And I have a big list of people, especially in Texas, a lot of shops in Texas. Not that they have called me, but people want the cigars in their, local shop. So I have to just analyze, go in the maps, Google Maps, and see what's more convenient for me, which ones are going to be the ones that I'm going to try to go to.
Anya, I'm curious, what does the grind look like? For you, we've had a number of folks on the show, 136, 37, 40 episodes, whatever it is. And we've talked to boutique cigar owners, right? For you, in its infancy stage, what does that grind really look like as you also still work for Karen?
Well, to tell you the truth, here Florida sucks.
Okay.
I love Florida because of the weather. I love it, but selling cigars to shops here in Florida, it sucks.
Why?
If you go maybe North Florida a little bit, doesn't matter if you go east or west, north, it will be easier. But what is like South Florida, which is my territory, let's say for Karen, people concentrate more on the premium cigars.
Okay.
What they already know. You have a lot of people with money that goes to the shop, and then what they're looking for is for, Davidoff, Padron, and Perdomo, just names that they already know.
Right.
When you mention even Karen, Karen practically is from here. Let's say she's from Nicaragua, but she's been here for over 20 years already. So, you mentioned Karen. Some people don't even know who Karen is. And that's sad because she's been in the business for a long time.
By the way, we need to get her on the show. So, definitely want to hook that up too.
Okay, no problem. I can help you with that. But she's probably going to say you have to have Anya with me too. She feels more, I don't know what it is. She feels more comfortable if I'm there. So
I've got no problem seeing you again. You're great.
No problem. But yeah, it's the grind is not easy here. That's why I want to concentrate when it comes to my brand. I want to concentrate outside of Florida. That's why I'm gonna try to go to 2 different states each month. That's my plan. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but that's a plan.
No, that's tough.
Yeah, but I can do it.
No, for sure.
Oh, we have no doubt. We're talking about the grind and Cup as we're going down this road. Like when you hear the word, or sorry, not the word, excuse me. When I say the phrase hard work, right? Because as you say, like you've dealt with all kind of stuff leading just up to this point. But when I use the phrase hard work, what comes to your mind immediately?
Getting on the road when you're tired, when you're sick, and just keep going. Sometimes eating just crap or not eating at all, sleeping in other people's bed, not your bed. Sleeping in other, in motels or hotels are just crappy. That's to me hard work. Some people just, they get on a plane and they go places quickly and it's easy. But me being a woman, hard work, believe me, what is hard work for a guy in the cigar business, for a woman, just triple it. And it's sad to say that, but it's triple work.
Well, it's sad, but also there's also a part of me that, unfortunately, right, it's just the nature of the beast that we're currently in. Unfortunately, you're not the first woman to tell us that, and whatever role we can play to help out in regards, I guess we'll go down that path. But it's sad. It's true, but sad that so you're not the first woman to tell us that, as far as being treated different just because you're a woman. Like the example you gave us of them giving you three same cigars, and I gave you the samples. Like it's one of those things to where, like, hey, I'm Dominican. I've been smoking for a while. Like why would you even, like, I just didn't just fall off a plane here and just last night. Like I don't understand that. Like you said,
but doesn't it, like, we're in 2022, right? Isn't that baffling that is still happening right now? Sexism and certain prejudices that exist. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
See, I don't get offended by it. I understand that for many, many years, it was a man's world, a man's, man-dominated industry. But, as time passes by, let's say we have Leo from Nova, we have Desiree from Drunk Chicken. And I know there's more women out there. I just can't remember the names, but you have Karen Berger, Danais Leon. I can't remember her brand, but there's a lot of women out there now getting their cigars. You have Cigar Beauty. She's on Instagram, Cigar.beauty. She has her brand as well. So you see more women now getting into this. I think that in a way, and maybe some women probably are gonna hate me, but maybe in a way we are to blame, because I was one of the people that I was a little scared to come out saying, I smoke cigars, because of all the, taboos, especially in my country. And it's funny because you go to a factory, half of the factory is women.
Yeah.
Women rolling cigars,
Yeah.
rolling, women choosing the tobacco and all the stuff. So it's sad to see it like that, but women have been in the industry. Karen Berger, she started as a cigar roller at the factory that
Wow.
she now owns. So, women have been in the industry for a long, long time, but behind the scenes. And it's both because of the taboos and the prejudice, like, oh, you're a woman, you're not supposed to smoke. So it is okay for women to smoke cigarettes, but it's not okay for a woman to smoke a cigar. It's, it's stupid, because see, my sister has been smoking cigarettes since she was probably 17. And of course, my mom doesn't like it, but she doesn't say anything. But she sees me smoking a cigar. Oh my God. You're crazy. You shouldn't be doing that. And you're going to go to hell. It's like, well, I'm going to go to hell, but I'm not going to start smoking. So, but that's what I'm saying. Is that we accepted that, and we were hiding all this time. So maybe if we would have, said, let's just, fuck it, let people see us smoking, then, like a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's not how women.
That's
not who women were back then.
No.
You know what I mean?
We're, submissive, and whatever man said, that's how it used to be.
So what are your thoughts on gender roles? Because we had our last episode for 2021. We talked about gender roles a little bit, right? And we've not gone down this road, but I'm curious, as a very strong woman, what are your thoughts on gender roles?
In what sense? Just in general?
In general, yeah.
Like they used to say, oh, men should work and women should stay in the house.
No, not that archaic, right? Yeah, mm-hmm. Like I don't think that women should be behind be in the kitchen and tend to the children like forever. No, like I believe in balance, but I think that the gender line has been so skewed where men are women and women are men, and you get upset because you're dating a man that's not really a man. You know what I mean? But it's because of this constant clash of...
It's the stupid mentality.
Yeah.
Look, of course, I grew up in a different era, right? Like, now the kids see things differently. But my dad was 23 years older than my mom. So my dad retired. He used to be a police officer. He retired the year that I was born.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So my mom was working and my dad was home. So, of course, my dad had that. Yeah, exactly. And he will do, like, he got into real estate for a little bit, but it's not the same because he was home most of the time. But my mom, we own a school back home in the Dominican Republic. So she was always working at the school, and she used to be, how do you call that in English? I don't even know. But she used to work at a college, one of the colleges over there, university.
A professor.
Not college, university. No, she used to be a professor too, but she used to be in charge of the education department. So that's what it is. Is it a dean or something like that? That's how you call it? The dean of the education department. Yeah. Yeah, but it's the education department or the architectural department. So she was in charge. She was the head of the education department. So if anybody was going to go into that program to be a teacher or whatever, they have to go through her. She had to prove it and all that stuff. So, and she was one of the founders as well of that university.
Oh, wow.
And I think she was the one who founded actually that program, the education program in that university. So she was like working. I gotta say, by the time I was like up in the morning, she was already gone. I would fall asleep and she wasn't home yet. So she was always working. And my dad was the one home. Of course, over there we had maids. So he wasn't cleaning and cooking or anything like that, but he was home, you know. So to me, like I wasn't raised to be a housewife. I wasn't raised to be submissive or to do whatever man said to do. And we're talking about that I grew up in an era where that's how things used to be. Whatever men said, that's what's gone, you know? But since my mom was so independent, she taught us to be independent as well. I have another sister and I have a brother. So I'm the youngest, but my brother was, you know, he was raised to be a gentleman and to never treat women as, you know, as like, you know, to treat women as equal. You understand? So my brother works, his wife works, he cooks if he gets home first, she cooks if she gets home first. They have 2 kids and they're both raising the kids together, they're doing stuff together. So we, of course, we have a lot of religious craziness. You don't understand. Like my mom is ruled by religion. So in that sense, like my family is very moralist. I'm not like that. I'm the black sheep. So, but when it comes to that stuff, like I'm not a feminist. I just think there are jobs that the men do that some women can do. But me, I'm super weak. So there's stuff like I couldn't drive a truck. I couldn't be a trucker. No, I could not. Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm gonna drive a truck.
If you're driving back and forth for your cigars, you could be a trucker. That's like if you would have said something like, you know, a jackhammer or whatever, like I would get that. Or what do you call the people in the forest, the lumberjacks? You know?
Yeah, lumberjack.
You have to have a lot of upper body strength to drive an 18-wheeler. You do have to. Oh, you do. You do.
Okay.
When you're gonna do a turn, when you're gonna do, I know. I tried. Believe me, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I think I'm not gonna say that women are equal to men or men are equal to women. I think there's a lot of things that certain women can do, certain things that we cannot do. I know what I can do. I know what I cannot do. So I don't see, like, maybe we're equal in a lot of things, maybe we're not. And God created us different.
For a reason.
You guys have a thing that I don't have, right? And I have 2 things that you guys don't have.
3.
So, 3, exactly. 3, sorry.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, hopefully.
I you know, exactly. But I just think that as a woman, you can do what you can do. It's not like, oh, I can do whatever men can do. Fuck that. That's not true. That is not true. There's a lot of things that I could do if I put my mind to it, but there's a lot of things that I can't do.
Yeah.
So
one of the
I
things
think it depends on mentality.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, and that's really what I'm saying. And we're about the same age, right? We are really excited. Like I mentioned earlier, Charlotte Cigar Week, TheVisionLab is planning on being in the building. What is now? You're one of the keynotes there. You're one of the faces there.
Yeah, I'm one of the ambassadors, and
Okay.
I am also one of the sponsors.
Nice.
You know, not me. Don Fausto is.
Shout out to Goldie or Damon, the cigar culturalist. We appreciate you, big
Goldie.
dog. Gotta love
Goldie. I love Damon. I love Damon. We always argue, but I love the guy.
He has been great since the day we met him through social media. You know, he sent us a DM, and you know, we had him on the show a couple years ago, but he's been awesome at every turn. So we definitely look forward to doing some stuff with him in the future for sure.
He is a cigar purist in the truest sense. And there's not a lot of people that and we've interviewed a shit ton of people, right? But like, there's not a lot of people that are as much of a purist as he is. What has that experience with Damon been like for you?
Well, I met Damon last year when he was planning the week that they used to do, but now, they're separated and whatever. But that's when I met him. And when I met him in person, it's like, oh, because, we had that interaction like with you, on Instagram and whatever. He will ask me questions. You're really coming? I'm like, yeah, but my ticket. So are you coming my plane? So we would just had like little talks, right? So I didn't actually know how he was. 10 minutes after I met him, he was my brother. Forget about it. We're family.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I'm like that easy to get along with. Like I'm a jokester. I'm always in a good mood. I might get tired. Like by 9 o'clock, I'm usually, I'm done. But I try to treat people with respect and love. Even the people that I don't even like, I treat everybody the same. And as soon as I met Damon, and it was a natural thing. It was so natural. Like if we had known each other all our lives, and we talk practically every single day, even for stupid shit. He will call me, oh, you know this now. What do you think about this? Like, Damon, you're really asking me? Are you crazy? No, don't ask me. Ask somebody else. Fuck somebody else. Just stop. And I will hang up on him or something like that. So, I just love the guy. I think he's very knowledgeable when it comes to cigars. It's funny because he knows a lot about cigars, stuff that I didn't even know. Because you can be like, I've been smoking for over 20 years. And there's just a lot of things that I didn't know that I learned from him. And things that he didn't know that he learned from me. So, and that's the beautiful thing about the cigar culture, that you keep learning and learning and learning and learning. It doesn't even matter. Even Carlito Fuente, who has been in the industry for who knows how long, there's a lot of shit that he probably doesn't even know. But when he meets somebody else, that, no, I didn't know that. Now I know. So this is the beauty. And knowing, meeting Damon to me has been a blessing. I love the guy. We argue and we joke all the time, but
he's easy to
I
argue
drive him
with.
Crazy.
He's easy to argue with.
But you don't understand, like that Goldie shit. Like you said Goldie, and I was just laughing because we're in a group chat and somebody said something Goldie, and I grabbed one of his pictures and I put like Goldilocks, the picture. And I said, yeah, here's Goldilocks. And he was so pissed. And I was like, seriously? Are you gonna fuck with me like that? I'm like, what can I do? That's me. So he gets mad easily, but then he's okay. And
no, he's a good dude.
He's just he's a lovable person. I love the guy.
So we talked a little bit about Karen and her brand. I've got to ask this question: how do you balance being a boutique cigar brand owner that's in its infancy stage and repping a different cigar brand? Like, how does that work, and how do you balance that?
It's a little hard. I'm not gonna say no. I also rep for another brand as well. But what I try to do when I'm doing Karen, I'm only doing Karen. Because I just have to do it that way. For me, it's better doing it that way. I don't go, okay, if I'm gonna go and sell Karen, I'm not gonna present my cigar to this company. I'm gonna go first, of course. And I have gone to places like first for Karen, then I'll go back and then for myself.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask you. Like, okay, now you got Karen in the door. Are you gonna bring, your cigar into the building as well? Mm-hmm. And she doesn't trip on that, or the sales folks don't trip on that.
No, let me tell you something. Sometimes she's like, oh, where are you? Are you in Orlando? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, we're going to have a few events. Can you come? And I'm like, yeah. So I just show up and I think that I'm going to help. She calls the owner. Oh, come here. Look, this is Anya. She owns her own brand. Talk to him about the brand. Talk to him. And she pushing me like, really? Seriously? So that's another thing that I love about this. There is no competition. She doesn't see me as a competitor. She sees me as a sister, as a friend, as an employee or whatever. But she helps me, and I'm helping her in a way, right? Oh yeah, she does, because she knows it's hard. And the thing is, like, before she hired me, she knew I was working on my cigar. My cigars were already done for months, and they were sitting in an aging room. We were just waiting on the boxes, and she knew about that. And as soon as I got my cigars, I remember that I had just picked them up from the broker, and I had my car full of cigars, and I had to go pick up some stuff from the store. And she was there. She's like, "Oh, let's have a cigar." And we're talking. Yeah, I just pick up the cigars from the broker. She's like, "What? You have the cigars in the car?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know, bring me, 3, 3, and 3. And I'm like, are you sure? It's like, yeah. Bring them to me. And just let's get it done. And I'm like, wow. So she knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
And since she knows, she helps. And that's something that I truly love and appreciate.
That's dope.
Can we give Karen a round of applause? Because Cuff, we talked about this in our last episode. We talked about this. Like, people everyone put your egos to the side and everyone start working together. Like, there's enough out here for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
let's get over the dumb stuff and let's figure out a way to come together and everybody can eat, everyone can succeed, everyone can prosper. Like, shout out to Karen, like a round of applause to you, Karen. Thank you so much for doing that. It's cool to hear that, like you said, she already knew what you were working on, and as opposed to her trying to snuff out your fire, she's like, no, I'm gonna feed it. So like, it's really cool to hear that. And
No, she
hopefully, like,
actually offered me a job. That's the fun thing. I told her what I was doing. I'm waiting for the boxes for my cigars to come. And then the next day I get a call from her sales director. Oh, Karen wants to know if you want to come and work for us. I'm like, what? Are you being serious? So that's the type of person Karen Berger is. A lot of people, and I know that a lot of people talk shit about her, but I can only say that I love Karen. We are different in many ways, but we are the same in many others. People see her, she's a very serious person. Of course, she's very respectable and all that stuff. But Karen is the funniest lady that you will ever know. She's super funny, and being with her, I'm always laughing. We're always joking, and to me, like, it's another blessing. Like, I'm always talking about blessings because even the bad stuff to me that happens, you learn from them. Those are blessings. So Karen definitely has been a blessing. She's great, and I have a lot of tons of respect and love for her.
What does it look like from your vantage point? Obviously, having someone that is so well respected in the industry, almost, and forgive me for using this word, but kind of mentoring you and teaching you along the way. What does it look like from you to know that there's Latinas out there that are making such an imprint in the cigar industry?
Well, to me, I couldn't be more thankful that God made me. I gotta say, I didn't like Karen the first time I met her. I didn't like her, and maybe it sounds bad, but was me prejudging her. And once I met her, I said, I gotta swallow my words. I didn't tell anybody. It was something to myself. And when I sat down the first time with her, I said, I'm this is what I'm doing. It's just like, oh, can I give you some advice? Because I've been in the business for a long time. To me, I was just like, really? You're gonna give? Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you some ideas too. And she gave me a bunch of ideas that I have already implemented when it comes to Don Fausto. That I'm so grateful, because I gotta say, there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of, I'm not gonna say bad people, but maybe, and I even say haters, but people are selfish, that they think the business is just them, and they don't want to help anybody else. And one day, Karen is doing this for me today. Maybe in 5-10 years, I'm gonna do the same thing for somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to pay it forward. That's how I see it.
100%.
I love hearing this energy. Like, thank you again, Karen. This is really cool to hear.
Oh yeah, Karen it's great. And not because, I work for her. She's great. Even if I quit tomorrow, I'm still gonna think that she's great.
That's awesome. All right, P. I think it's about that time. We open up a little bit and have some fun with Miss Anya.
Yes, we have. We've reached the point of the show where we are going to land the plane, if you will. And so, before we do that, how can our visionaries, new listeners, everyone subscribe to the show? Like, how can they get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of Don Fausto Cigars? Like, what are the best places to reach Anya Ramirez as far as contact is concerned?
Instagram. That's easy. At Anya Ramirez, and at Don Fausto Cigars. That's the easiest way.
Got you. So as we close the show out, one of the questions that we ask everybody who's on the show, it's you and there is a round table. There are 5 other seats at that table. You get to have whoever you want at the table. The only caveat or stipulation, if you will, is that you can't have whatever religious entity you believe in. Outside of that, dead or alive, who do you want at your table?
Oh my God. That's hard.
How
many people? 5 only?
You get
Only
5.
5. Dead or alive, too.
Dead or alive? Oh, Winston Churchill for sure.
Okay.
I think he was such a funny guy. Zeno Davidoff.
Oh.
That wasn't, yeah. Who else? James Gandolfini.
So, right, I think, is that 3, Mo, that we've never heard of?
I think we've had a Winston Churchill before, but Mr.
Okay.
Davidoff and James Gandolfini are definitely 2 first for sure.
Okay.
I was crazy about, the show, The Sopranos show, and he was an avid, cigar smoker. And I had a lot of questions, and I wish I would have met the guy before he passed. Who else? I love Carlito, so I guess I will put Carlito in there, and Karen, of course. Who else?
Okay, it's a pretty good table.
All right, so I've got a couple of questions for you. Since we're starting off the year in 2022, what is the short-term vision for 2022? Like, what's your vision for this year for Anya Ramirez?
I want to be
by December 31st.
By December 31st, I want to be at least in, let's say, 12 states.
Okay, and Texas being one.
I'm gonna be realistic. I want to be in all 50s. There's no way. There's no way I want to be the whole United States. So I'm gonna hit for at least 12, 12 states, and then that's it for me. Like, I'll be happy, because that doesn't mean that it's only gonna be 1 store per state. It's gonna be many stores per state. So 12 states, I'm good by December 31st.
Let's make it happen. Yeah. All right. If you were a cigar, what would your flavor profile look like?
Boy, that's a hard one. A lot of pepper, definitely.
Spicy.
Oh yeah, a lot of pepper. You could say honey too. It would be a little contrast,
Okay.
Have honey. A lot of nuttiness for sure. A lot of nuttiness. And let's say dark roasted coffee for the dark humor.
Okay. And then what's your binder? What's your wrapper and filler?
Everything is gonna be Dominican.
Okay.
Well, if I want the spiciness, you gotta mix the filler with Nicaraguan. Definitely Dominican with Nicaraguan, so you can get that kick.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And in case you didn't know, we do have a magical time machine here in the Vision Lab. Okay. What advice would Anya Ramirez be giving herself from 5 years ago? So you're 5 years younger, and you're looking back in 2022? So 2017. What advice are you giving yourself from 2017, Anya?
2017. That was a hard year. Hard year. I would just say, don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. And definitely everything that happened that year happened for a reason.
Okay. Now, forgive me. We're going to make you 5 years older, so you're wiser. Okay. What advice would the 2027, is that right? Yeah, 2027, Anya, what advice is she giving you today?
Just keep working hard. You're going to get where you're going to be, where you want to be. That's it. Keep grinding.
I love it.
Don't look back and never quit.
Yeah, that's dope. To all of our visionaries, first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Anya. This has been just great to start the year off. Like, it's a fantastic interview. Absolutely thrilled that you're on the show. Remember, visionaries, each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom here on the trail of life. Ultimately, it's up to you to pick them up.
Visionaries, thank you again for tuning in. Anya, thank you again for your time. We can't wait to meet you in person, and obviously we'll talk about some sticks for sure. My name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Again, Happy New Year to you guys. Look forward to a great 2022, and we'll see you next week on another great episode of the Vision Lab podcast.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and have everybody have a great year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Blessings.